Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Sarah and in today's video we are market prepping together. I have a long list of things that I want to make for my next festival, which if you haven't seen my first video, I guess I'll just do a quick recap. I am going to a festival in 2027 in mid-April. This festival is 3 days long. It also happens to be the 50th anniversary, which means hopefully a lot more people will show up at this event. Because of that, I've decided to get not one but two booth spaces, which the booth fee is going to be $800. A lot, but I'm hoping that that will be worth it. At the very least, it'll look good. I have a goal of making $15,000 over 3 days while I'm at that festival. I also have a goal to make $25,000 in monetary value for my inventory. That way I have a lot of inventory and hopefully plenty of inventory to reach that goal of making 15K gross profit. Anyways, enough with the recap. I'm currently market prepping some sea turtles. So I got this guy right here. And I'm going to be making a bunch of these. So the plan is to make one more green one. I already have the shell made. That's what I've been working on recently. So I'm going to be making another green one, two purple ones, two blue ones, and then two pink ones out of this color. And we'll be pairing Burnout Mystical, which is this shell color, with the Sweet Snuggles Light. So these should be really pretty. I do plan on using 25mm eyes for all of them as well. And I always forget to mention this, but this is a free tutorial on my YouTube channel. I'll have it in the iCards wherever it is. I want to make a total of 8, 8, yes. And I already have two made that are green with brown shells, so I'm not going to be making any more of those guys. And then I also have a few other colors left over. I believe it's like a yellow, red, and black shell with a cream base, something like that. So I won't be making any more sea turtles than this. I mean in this size. I'm going to be making lots of sea turtles because they did sell really well last year. The goal is to make lots of sea turtles, lots of plushies in general. I don't have anything written down as of this moment. I just wanted to take a minute, sit down and talk with you all before I do all of that. But my goal is to look at my yarn, all the yarn I have left over and all the yarn I've bought recently, and I just want to sit down and put together a list of things I can make with it. Some of the yarn is harder to decide on because it's like the floral yarn or variegated, which I feel like variegated only works on certain projects, so I have to plan that out. I'm gonna do that with you probably later because I do have a couple errands I need to run. That's what I was gonna say. I need to go eat some ice cream. You know, very important life goals there. I'm also currently working on that custom order I talked about, and that order is huge. I have not even halfway still, but I'm gonna be working on that more than anything, so hopefully I can still get some sort of prep done in this video. I'm also working on some jellyfish I showed you earlier. So I just have the one jellyfish finished. It needs eyes still, but this guy's done. And I finished the tentacle part for a bunch of the other blue ones as well. So I just need to finish this part, the top part, the head, whatever. But I'm gonna get to that later. So maybe kind of switching between custom order, market prep, sea turtles versus jellyfish. I don't know. We'll figure something out. I think that's pretty much it for now. I know when I turned this camera on, I probably had a lot more things to add, but now I don't know what I was gonna talk about. So that is everything. I will check in with you all in a little bit. We're gonna go through my yarn stash together and just kind of put some ideas together. I kind of already have the majority of things in my head plotted out, but obviously I should write it down or I'm not going to remember it. So I will check in with you all in a little bit. Here I am at my yarn wall. We have a lot of colors to choose from, and of course I have everything up there as well. I started writing a list. This might be like mirrored, I don't know. We'll see. But this is just the start of the list, and I actually still am missing things. This is my market prep list, what I want to get done. Currently I have written down about 13,000 in monetary value, and I completely forgot to count how many plushies this is total, but it's a lot. I want to make more dragons than anything because they were very successful. Specifically Willow was pretty successful, so the goal is to make 3 giant dragons, so the big giant wisteria ones, and then 10 willows at least, and then around 20 little wills. I'm also toying with the idea of making some mini dragons, like designing a new pattern, but I don't know about that. Everything else is pretty similar. I want to make unicorns, cows, highland cows, elephants, cats, raccoons, bunnies, teddy bears, and then the sea creatures. This is a long list, I'm aware. Sea turtles, axolotl, jellyfish, sharks, that's for sure. And then I have the minis bin too. I want to make at least 300 minis for the bin. And then I also have the smaller items, the handheld stuff. And I'm thinking, I drew this rough sketch here, guys. It looks amazing. Look at that. It looks perfect. This is what I'm thinking for my booth space. So I'll have 8-foot table, 8-foot table, and then an 8-foot table and like an L, a big L. People will be able to walk in to the booth. Now I could probably invert it so that we have all that space in the booth for us, but I think it will be better to have that walking space just because when it gets crowded in there, it gets really crowded. Like I said, with it being the 50th anniversary, I'm hoping that means it's even more crowded. I'm thinking of doing grid wall shelves again, of course, and I want to put one on each table. And they're going to be 6 grids long but have 3 spaces. Hopefully that makes sense. And there's going to be 3 tiers as well. So 3 shelves. Anyways, hopefully that makes sense. I'm also toying with the idea of getting more baskets and putting them on the table instead of trying to get a small shelf to work. It has not worked successfully for me. It's honestly just not really worth it, but I'm thinking with baskets. Here's the thing that I've found out about markets is that people absolutely love digging through baskets. Doesn't matter their age, super young to older, they all love digging through and looking at the plushies. So I'm thinking I want to do more like that this year, and I also want to get, well, next year. And I also want to get some signs for that, so price signs that could probably like stick out of the basket, and then everything on the shelves. Obviously, as we go higher up, it gets more expensive until you reach the top, which is obviously the most expensive. I'm also thinking on my amazing sketch right here of possibly putting the snuggler rack on the end here, because these are 8-foot tables. I'll have 20 feet of space total. So if I have like 2 feet here for this table, this is where I'll probably be sitting / taking payment. So I'm thinking that's what, like a total of 18 feet, and I should have 2 extra feet for the snuggle rack on the end. That's what I'm hoping at least. We always play this by ear though, so you know, we may end up changing things. Yarn. Let's change the subject. I've rambled enough. I know for sure I want to make some elephants this year. I didn't really have any last year. I had 2 small ones they sold. And then I also have the bigger ones, but they're not as nice. I've talked about this plenty of times before. So I'm thinking of making some with the floral yarn specifically. Not this one, but I have a lot of that kind of floral yarn that I want to use. So I think the elephants will be a good use for that. And then pretty much just everything else, remake the similar colors. I also am thinking about doing embroidered eyes for a lot of the plushies this year instead of plastic safety eyes. I still want to use the sinker eyes as much as possible. That's kind of my thoughts. I got a lot of yarn to choose from, so I'm gonna go through this. I also have the Premiere box you may have seen, which I ended up ordering their like bundle save yarn, save on yarn thing. I can't remember what it says. I'll put it on the screen. They're not as nice quality. Most of them are not that nice. So as much as I loved saving, like I think it was like 75% at least. But a lot of the texture isn't that nice, and I just know for me personally, I like my hands to continue working without too much pain, and when I have yarn that's this kind of waxy texture a little bit, not worth it. So in the future, I'll splurge and get the more expensive stuff. I'll still go through most of it for sure. That was what I worked on this morning though, was this list, and I'm gonna work on it a little bit more later, because I need to give my brain a minute to not be thinking about that. I also finished the sea turtle shells, and I'm about to sew together the giant wildflower dragon. So I got some work to do. I also have to head out shortly. I'll check in with you all tomorrow probably, and probably a less long-winded update, but we'll see. Alright, y'all are gonna have to ignore the mess that is my desk, because I haven't bothered to put everything away yet. Update for you, I've been working on some more jellyfish tentacles just because they're easier for me to work on right now than finishing everything. But last night I ended up making 4 pink ones. I did 3 of these guys right here, and then I did 1 of this white lighter color, so I'm gonna be making 2 more of those eventually. But then I also got this super awesome yarn from Hobby Lobby. I've had my eye on it for a while. It is Baby Bee Adorable in Sprinkles. I've decided to buy this for the jellyfish so that I can make some jellyfish tentacles. Look at how pretty. I know this lighting is interesting. This yarn is really pretty. I'm still kind of torn on what color I want to do as like the head portion, the cap portion. So I'm going to be thinking about that, but I'm almost thinking of doing a pink and a blue so that I have a boy and girl color, but with the crazy color tentacles. And that will help me make more jellyfish, obviously. So for the jellyfish, I'm making 6, 12, 1824 of the regular colors, so that's going to be purple, blue, green, and pink. I could make 30 total, and I think they'll actually all sell because jellyfish, I've found that people of all ages absolutely love them. They were a big hit last time, sold out by day 2. Well, they sold out by day 3. I had like 2 left day 3. So I'm gonna be making a bunch of those. And then I think I already showed you the shells that I was working on. I haven't tested sea turtles since I finished the shells, but we'll work on that eventually. Today I'm gonna be focusing on the wildflower dragon though, because I have the limbs all made. The legs are attached. I need to sew everything else together, put the fluffy spine on, all that stuff. So I'm going to be doing that today. I told her I would finish it today, so that is the goal. But once I finish that, I'm probably going to take a short break from the custom order and work on some market prep of some kind just for a little bit, just so that I can keep my sanity when it comes to this big custom order. Then I'm gonna finish the details on the dragon, and I'm gonna work on those set of horns, the other stuff. So yeah, I need to get on that, but that's it for now. Pretty quick update. I haven't done too much. I also need to think of a video to release this weekend. Don't know what that'll be yet, but I'm hoping to get that filmed today and then edit it. I don't know. We'll just have to see. But that's everything for now, so I'll probably check in with you tomorrow or the next day. We'll see. Here's my first official Wildflower Dragon update, since I can't seem to bring this project upstairs very often. But here she is. So I have finished all of the important pieces, tail included. Now all's left is to make all of the details, which will take me a while, but we'll get there eventually. While I work on those details, I do have to remember to take pattern photos, so I'm saying it out loud so hopefully I don't forget. Here are her eyelids. Beautiful. And of course the horns, ears, the wildflower fluff. I feel like I could have used a slightly bigger hook on this to make it bigger, but still pretty. The wings, I'm pretty proud of. They're mostly even, like the actual sections. That is the worst part, I would say, about this entire pattern. Now, the sewing is obviously difficult, but the surface crochet, that is the tedious part. And I really haven't done anything else, so that's it. It's a really quick update for you. I'm gonna work on this and get all those details finished. This evening, I'm gonna work on the jellyfish again. So the goal is to finish the pink jellyfish, make the last 2 of these tentacles, and then I'll likely move on to the super fun yarn just so that I can work with it. That is the update, so I'll check in with you later. Let's just pretend it hasn't been that long since I talked with you all last. I have been a little stressed out recently and also busy. My weekends have been busier than ever at this point, so I think I'm just gonna accept the fact that I will not be able to film on the weekends and not really edit either, which, you know, is fine with me because I need a break, just like every other person. So, you know, it's nice to have kind of like a scheduled break situation. But anyways, what we're here to talk about is market prep. It's kind of one of the main reasons why I haven't talked with you all that much, because I really haven't done much at all. Have been working on my wildflower dragon. I finished all the details for that, and all I need to do is sew all of that together and then she'll be finished. I also have several other things I need to finish for that custom order, including these mushrooms, which I thought for sure I finished, but apparently I just set these last 3 aside and never finished them. I don't even know why I did that. I should have just finished them. It would have taken me 20 minutes at most, and instead I put it off and forgot that I didn't finish them. Speaking of mushrooms, I did film a tutorial a few days ago for these mushrooms, and I'm going to be editing that today. We'll see how long it takes me to get it out because I've been really tired recently. I got the worst sunburn ever. I haven't had a sunburn in literal years, so I've been remembering why I hate sunburns in the last couple of days. So I haven't been up to much, just kind of relaxing and focusing on family related stuff and less on crochet stuff. I need to continue to work on my Etsy shop. I haven't done that in a while. Haven't posted the rest of the patterns that I have out in there yet, so I'm going to be working on that. I also want to get as close to finished with this custom order as possible because it's one of the big things that have been weighing on me, and I find it very hard to work on anything else when I have this outstanding order. I'm going to be working on that, hopefully finishing it in the next couple of weeks, and then I also still have to put together Wisteria's pattern and start pattern testing for that, and I also have to edit videos and reply to comments when that new video comes out. So yeah, I've got a long to-do list of things I need to do, so I'm probably gonna write that stuff down just so that I feel a little bit more sane and then start chipping away at it this week. I would love to be extra productive this week because I really haven't finished a lot of things recently. I've started a lot of things, but I need some finished things in my life. And then I also want to, market prep wise, finish these sea turtles, these guys right here, so that I can say that I finished some market prep as well. I'm gonna quickly finish these mushrooms before I even go downstairs so that they're done, and then I'm probably going to put them in a little bag or something before I actually leave them, just so that they don't get lost. That is all I have for you for now, so I will check in with you when I have a major update next. Ignore the chaos a little bit, but I wanted to update you really fast because I haven't done it in a day or two. Who knows how accurate that is, but I do have some very exciting news, and that is I got back on the bandwagon these last couple days. Can you believe it? I have finished multiple projects and I'm feeling pretty good about that. First and foremost, I did finish the wildflower dragon officially. So this is kind of the slightly tweaked version. So I added a mushroom to the horn, and then I added an extra bee on the back there, which I think is so cute. It's very similar to the original, just with some slight tweaks, and then obviously a different eye color, which they're really pretty. I kind of feel bad putting eyelids on these guys, but they look so cute both ways. And then along with finishing that dragon today, I also finished these horns, which these are the horns for the custom order as well. The other day I also worked on some turtles, so I finished the pink ones. This guy right here, I picked some lighter pink eyes. This one I picked some bright pink eyes. So these guys are super cute, slightly unique because of the eyes. And I will note that all these eyes I'm showing you are from Traveling Pony Studios. I also started some blue turtles, and I picked this eye for one of them. I think it's absolutely stunning. Matches the kind of purpley blue shell. And then I picked these eyes, which are just kind of like a lighter blue. Also have a little bit of orange and stuff in them. They're super pretty. For the purple ones, I think I'm gonna go with this eye. Which the background of it is purple, but I think it's really pretty. And then I'm also thinking about going with this eye, which it has light purple in there and blue. And then for the last green one, I'm planning on going with these eyes. These are showing up pretty gold on camera, but they are pretty green in person too. They should be perfect. That is the plan. I'm gonna work on some turtles this evening, just for the next half hour or so before I hit the hay, whatever saying is. Actually, that's not it. I have something really cool to show you. So I went to a festival kind of in my local area, and the intention was to ride the carnival rides, which I have to say that was not fun. It was kind of fun, but wow, I'm not sure I can ever do that again. Like zero gravity and stuff, those were terrible. I also decided to snoop around the handmade vendors, and I found a crochet artist. I have some unfortunate news about this though. I have literally zero information. Her work was stunning, and I got something pretty epic. It is an Anchor the Octopus. Look at how amazing this plushie is. It is so beautiful, so well made. Anchor the Octopus is so epic. Now that I have one officially, I feel like I need to buy that pattern and crochet one, maybe like a little tiny one out of Petite Pearl. But look at how nice these stitches look. And the eyes are pretty. Plus, I can imagine the amount of work went into these tentacles, so that's the only reason I haven't crocheted Anchor myself yet. The only thing that I would say is that she needs to charge more, because her work is amazing and I truly believe people will pay for it. But a large project like this, if I were to make something like this, I would easily charge $80, if not more, Now, I haven't made one myself, so I can't tell you how long it would take to make something like this. If this was like an all-day project, it would probably be in the $100 range, and I did not pay that much. I only had a little bit of extra cash, so I gave her everything I had. And if you're someone who does crochet for markets and your work looks really nice and you spend a lot of time on stuff and you know your quality is there, I think that you should be charging more. That's my little bit of market advice in this video. Other people who understand, they've touched your work, they feel it, and they know it feels so nice, they will purchase it no matter the price. So that's my market prep advice. That is everything I have for you for now, and I will check in with you later. We'll see what I end up working on. I've got some plans, but nothing concrete. We'll see what happens. So my workspace in general has been atrocious, and by that I mean it's been horribly messy. So I've decided to take all of my scrap yarn and I'm gonna put it in this bin, and hopefully that will give me some space back so that I can put some full skeins in places I can't see them. Part of the problem is that I can't see the scrap yarn. I have them stashed in containers. I have them stashed in bins, is what I'm trying to say. And I can't see the colors I have, the yarn. I can't see it. So I'm hoping this solution will not only give me some more space back, but I might potentially be able to pull yarn out of this and use it more often. Who knows? At the very least, this yarn will be all in one place instead of in 100 different places. Here I have one drawer. That's one drawer empty. Drawer number 2. Okay, second drawer empty, and you may be thinking, wow, that's a lot of scrap yarn. Surely that's all you have, right? This isn't even all of it. Give me a second. Got 1 and 2 more bins. If you guys have any really good scrap busting projects, feel free to let me know. Some sort of plushie I'm thinking could be really cool. Maybe even like a giant dragon out of scrap yarn could be really cool, but I don't know if I have it in me to make so many color changes, so maybe I'll just use this on small projects and play infinite games of yarn chicken until I'm out of yarn. Empty. We're almost there. I can see the finish line. And empty. Woohoo! So I'm pretty certain this is all the scrap yarn I own, unless it's being used on a project right now. I promise I'm gonna vacuum after this. The box is completely full. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to close it, but we're gonna give it a shot. Very heavy, very full. Maybe I have too much scrap yarn. I really need to scrap bust ASAP. In terms of these containers, I think I'm gonna fill them with fuzzy yarn, because fuzzy yarn is one of those things that I need it for a specific project. I don't have to be looking at them all the time, is kind of my point. But I think I'm gonna put the fuzzy yarn in the actual drawers, and the burlap blanket maybe. I don't have too much of it. I'm thinking of putting it in here. Some perfect chunky can live in here instead of not on a shelf somewhere. There we go. Okay. And then I'll think about what to do with this bin. I'm thinking spare Naughty Pony for now until I actually run out of Naughty Pony, which will be a sad day. I don't have a lot of spare Naughty Pony because I fixed the shelf recently, so I filled it up again. But I just have some spare pink and black, so I'll put that in here. I'm gonna break out my fuzzy yarn real quick. Okay, here's my fuzzy yarn. I have a lot of it. Don't know if I'll actually manage to fit it in both these drawers, but we're gonna give it a shot. So I have 2 drawers here. And then I'm also thinking Pipsqueak I can fill my shelf up with. So that doesn't all need to squeeze on here. I think I'm gonna put Feels Like Bliss, Little Bunny, anything similar in one container. And then the more crazy stuff in the other container. See how this works. You guys know of any good fur yarn out there? I'd love to hear about it. I have been trying so hard to find yarn like this because this is Big Twist. Obviously Big Twist doesn't exist anymore, but I just love the colors they had, and I wish that somebody made something comparable. I've just been holding on to it, all the little pieces as much as possible. Here's some more scrap yarn apparently. And more scrap yarn. Who's surprised? I think with the very last bit of this yarn I have, I'm gonna use it on the giant black galaxy dragon I want to do, but we'll see if I actually have enough for that actually. Definitely cannot fit everything in here, which is not that surprising, honestly. I think what I might do is take Feels Like Bliss out and put it on a shelf if I can find space for it. I actually have a lot more fluffy yarn than I thought, especially certain colors, so I think I need to put together a few large fuzzy projects. We definitely have enough yarn for that. I've got a lot of this light pink. This is the Hobby Lobby yarn, and then I also have a lot of the white. Well, it's cream, but still. I could probably make a fuzzy unicorn. Thinking Beatrice would be really pretty. That will be market prep in the future, because right now I'm just trying to focus on my custom orders and then also kind of getting back in the swing of things, because I know I have been pretty absent recently in a lot of ways. I think the biggest issue I'm having right now, obviously stress outside of crochet itself is a problem. We've been going through a lot, but the other part is that my crochet zones are all a mess. Every single room is a mess right now, so I'm gonna clean those up as we're doing right now, and I think that will help a lot. At least that's what I'm hoping. And I'm glad to know that I actually have a lot more fur in terms of like rainbow and that blue purple green mix. I'm happy to see that I have a lot more of that than I thought. Probably still only enough for 1 or 2 more projects, but it's better than not enough for anything. Bin is emptied, which means it can leave my room and go in the spare room. It really needs to go in the spare room and give me some space back, but let's fill up my shelf. Here's a shelf. I've got Burnout up here, but I'm gonna go ahead and put it down here because I have room down there. And I'm gonna fill this up with Pipsqueak and then also some Feels Like Bliss. That's the word. Now you just have to stay up. Looks good, right? Kind of. It could look more aesthetically pleasing, but the box is going to be out of my room, so it's worth it. Okay, I restocked my shelves a little bit off camera, but here's the state. Look at the bin used to live there. No more bin. Look at that. It's amazing. I also had a giant cardboard box full of yarn. That cardboard box can now leave too. So I have a nice open walkway, and all the yarn for the most part has a place. I'm gonna be going through a lot of this yarn pretty quickly here as soon as I start properly market prepping, but I also put my octopus up here. Look at how cute. This is seriously amazing. Ever since I got my hands on this anchor, I have been nonstop thinking about making an anchor myself, so expect that from me soon. It's a requirement at this point. Yeah, that's what everything looks like. I feel a little bit more sane right now. Obviously, I still have some of these boxes down here. Not the most attractive, but some projects I started before my festival and I haven't touched since. We'll work on that later. I also have a basket here with all the eyes I bought from Charlie Pony Studios. So these guys are just gonna live here for a little while. Once I get through the bulk of them, then I'll put them in a better bin, but that's just what it looks like for now. I still have to put the 2 bins in the spare room, but we'll get to that eventually. I'll check in with you guys in a little bit. Okay, I'm 99% certain I've shown you these pink turtles, but here's another glance just in case. And then I also finished 2 blue ones. So I finished this gorgeous guy right here. These eyes have a little bit of orange in them. I still think it's super cute. And then this one's my absolute favorite so far because the eyes are absolutely perfect. Look at how cute. Matches the shell exactly. It is my favorite perfect combo in a while. So far I have 5 turtles made. I made the green one a while ago, but I have 1 more green one I want to make and then the 2 purple ones. So I'm going to be working on that a little bit this evening. I was really hoping to be further along by the time I ended this video, but it is what it is. I just wanted to talk for a second, show you these turtles. I did want to mention though that in my next video I will be a lot more put together, at least I hope so, because I am almost so close, nearly finished with this custom order for the giant wisteria. That's the word. Giant wisteria. I finished the dragon, finished the mushrooms, I finished the set of horns, and the possums are the last ones I need to finish. I've been working on them all day. If I remember to take a clip of them, I'll put it on the screen. All I have to do now is embroider the nose and the eyes on 15 of them, and then they're finished. All 20 of them will be done. So I'm so excited about that because this has been my biggest issue right now is this giant custom order. I have to say, as flattered as I am, I will not be taking such a large order on in the future again, just because guys, I have to get market prepping and I hate saying no. I don't think I've really ever said no. As much as I absolutely love doing custom orders, I think they'll have to be in small batches, maybe like 3 items. More if everything's pre-made. You know, if y'all want something I already have made, I don't care how much you order. If it's something that I have to custom make, I need probably like a cap of 3 items. Most, unless they're like really small, and then maybe just like 1 group of small items instead of 2 groups. For this order I have 44 items in this order, so you can see why I'm going crazy. Thank you so much for your order. I'll say it more than once, I'm sure. I do really appreciate your giant order. It's just I've never had an order this large, and I'm definitely gonna keep it as a rare situation. Anyways, I'm just rambling here because I haven't talked with you all in a hot minute. Life has been busy around here. We're dealing with a lot. You all know the drill. You all know what I'm gonna say probably, but I will check in with you all tomorrow. I'm hoping when I check in with you tomorrow, we can pack up this giant order together and be officially finished with any outstanding custom orders. Phew! Hopefully so. Here are all the possums. And I have 5 that are officially finished, so they're all embroidered and everything. Super cute. And then I have a couple that just need their eyes and their nose, and then the rest I need to finish completely. I got a lot done yesterday, all things considered, so I'm really hoping to finish these guys today. I'm kind of on the worst part, the most tedious part, which is closing everything up and embroidering the small details, but look at how cute these guys are. So, you know, it's worth it. I always forget to mention that this is a free pattern. It is free on my YouTube channel. I got a tutorial, free on Instagram. You can also find the written pattern in my shop, my online shop. I still need to put it in my Etsy shop. Speaking of Etsy, I need to finish moving over there, but I've just been trying really hard to get this custom order finished and out so that I can focus on that other stuff and not worry about custom orders right now. So as soon as I finish these, I'm going to be working on my online stuff. I'm going to be working on my market prep, and we'll just see how that goes. I also forgot to show you these. I ordered these quite a while ago. They've been hanging out downstairs with me. I had the opportunity to order from Prince Plushies, which she's one of my testers. Well, she's tested for me a bunch of times, and I absolutely love her work. I've been eyeing her plushies, but I haven't found the perfect one yet. Eventually I will get there and I'll order a plushie from her, but she started selling eyes. So I went ahead and got some eyes. These are 12 millimeter sinker eyes, and I got mostly blue and then one of the yellow and green colors, and I would have gotten an equal mix of both, but I think somebody got there first. It's fine though. I'm gonna find a use for these. They're really nice. Really well done. The packaging was amazing, so, you know, I always recommend Prince Plushies in general, but if she does continue to sell eyes, especially small ones, I will be there. Also, I'm sorry if my voice sounds crazy. I woke up feeling worse this morning. Yay! It's everyone's favorite time to be sick, right? I'm gonna find a use for these very soon because I do want to post about them on Instagram. So I'll find something to do with the 12 millimeter sinker eyes. I'm excited for that. But first things first, I need to finish these possums, and so we're gonna do that together. is final update time, and actually I'm going to move you over, so 1 second. I don't know if the lighting's going to be better there, now that I think about it. So, we're just going to play it by ear. Today I finished the second green turtle. This guy right here. I'm going with these eyes. They're kind of a little bit green and mostly gold. So I have 2 green turtles finished. 2 pink turtles and 2 blue ones finished. I also started the purple ones today. I just have the heads at this point, but they are real pretty. I love the eyes on this one. So I'm hoping to finish that in the next couple of days. Maybe even this evening. We'll see about that. But as for my giant custom order, she ended up purchasing a few more items from me, which I really do appreciate, first and foremost. So thank you so much for your order and for ordering more from me. Thankfully, we went with pre-made items this time instead of things I have to custom make, because I am not open for custom orders right now. I need a mental break, physical break, every type of break. But these are the horns finished, as I've shown you. And then we also have the mushrooms, which we talked about. I'm actually going to get a little bit more of the yarn for sewing so that she has extra sewing yarn in case it starts to fall apart on her, which tends to happen. She also ended up getting some chickens. So we got this one, this gray one, the mottled, and the white one. So 5 chickens. She also ordered one more item, which is this turtle right here. Nothing else can compete with this order. This is the largest order I've had to date, and probably the largest order I'll ever receive, unless something crazy happens and I accept huge orders. Oh, but the rest of the order is the giant wildflower dragon and the large raccoon. Let me grab her. Large raccoon, this guy right here. He's gonna be going to a new home. I'm actually surprised he didn't sell at my festival. The next one I make of these will be for pattern photos, so it'll look proportionally a little bit different. So I have that pattern written down. I actually have to put it together, you know? But that'll happen eventually. Last but not least, the wildflower dragon, which I think I already said, so I just feel like grabbing her. Here she is. Beautiful wildflower dragon. So my plan is to ship the wildflower dragon and probably a couple of I'm thinking all of the mini items, so the mini possums and the mini mushrooms together. Did I mention the possums earlier? I don't know if I did. Then with the raccoon, I'll be shipping the chickens and the sea turtle together, but I've just kind of accepted that. It should be fine. I'm going to be taking this dragon outside as long as it is not wet in the morning and getting some really epic photos with her before I actually ship her out, because I haven't done that yet and I just can't let her go without some epic photos. So I do not want to miss out and forget again to take good photos. I mean, the ones I took of the original one are okay, but they're not the best. So we need some really good photos, some naturey photos if I can manage it. Obviously don't want to get this plushie dirty in any way, so we're gonna make sure she stays clean. Enough talk. That is all I have for you in today's video. Stay tuned for my next video where we pack up this custom order together, and then we're actually properly going to get back to market prepping. I'm going to get you all a list, numbers, monetary value, inventory count, anything and everything I will get you in the next video. And we'll try and be a little bit more consistent going on in the future. So yeah, that is everything I have for you. Make sure to check out my Etsy shop. If you don't know about the Etsy shop, make sure to watch this video. I think it'll be over here and over there. iCards, somewhere in the information cards. Make sure to check that out if you haven't already. Sorry, this kind of looked like a threat, didn't it? It's not intentional. I do have a coupon code for Etsy. It is 10% off your total order. Enter single crochet in all caps at checkout. You'll get 10% off. And I know you watched the end of my videos because you all are awesome. Speaking of Etsy shops, I think I already mentioned this earlier in this video, but I will be working on the Etsy shop in the next few weeks and getting it finalized. I'm gonna hopefully get some plushies in there and the rest of my actual patterns in there. And then once that happens, I'm going to be closing Ribbler completely. Once everything is up there, Ribbler will be closed. Coffee, we're just gonna leave up and let's just see what happens with that. But that is everything. Again, thank you all so much for your support recently. You know that I've been feeling a little bit not as exciting as I would want to feel, not as good as I want to feel, but I just really hit rock bottom, and for real this time I'm actually feeling a little bit better. So I'm just taking it slow. I know that means pattern releases are taking forever, but I gotta do something to save my sanity. That is it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video, which I'm thinking, this is a hint, I'm thinking it'll be a pattern mod for a certain pattern. I'll talk about it in my next market vlog. Hope you all like it. And now I'm gonna be quiet for a little while, and I will see you later. Bye!